Hello, here is how to do the homework for this week on comparing fractions. So we have been talking about comparing fractions, specifically when the numerator is the same or the denominator is the same. And so they know that if it has the same numerator, which is the number on top, you look for the smaller denominator for the bigger pieces. So the smaller the denominator, the bigger the pieces. If it has the same denominator, you look for the bigger numerator because that's going to be more pieces. Okay, so having the same numerator, find the smaller denominator, that's going to give you the greatest fraction, as well as if the denominators are the same, you can find the larger numerator to give you the greatest fraction. Okay, so if we are looking right here, and we notice that all of the numerators are the same, that means smaller denominators are going to be bigger. So you can start right here. Our biggest, or our denominator that would be the smallest is 1/2. That would be the biggest, followed by 1/3, 1/4, and 1/6. So this is the smallest and this is the largest because we're going from least to greatest. So we pop that one in right there. Which of these fractions would not be found between 0 and 1 on a number line? Well, children have learned that if the numerator is larger than the denominator, that means it's more than 1. So that would not fall between 0 and 1. So here our numerator is smaller. Here the numerator is smaller. Numerator is smaller. The numerator is larger. We know that that is also equal to 3 because any number over 1 is that number of wholes. So 3 would not be found between 0 and 1 on a number line. Number 3. Which fraction would be found between 0 and 1/2 on a number line? Your children could draw a model. We're going to do 8, so we need 7 lines. Okay, color in 7. That's going to be greater than half of it. I like to equate this to candy bars. So we know that that one would not be found between 0 and 1/2, 3/4. And have 4 parts, 3 lines. Color in 3. That would be more than 1/2. Not it. 1/4. Color in 1. We know that that would be less than half of a candy bar, so that could be it. And 5/8. And this is a skill that we're working on Wednesday and Thursday, so we're going to continue on with that. But we're going to have 7 lines for 8 parts, color in 5. That would be more than half of a candy bar, could not be it, so C is our correct answer. We flip over to the back. Between 0 and 3/4, you can always draw 0 and 3/4 so that you have something to compare it to. Okay, and so we have 7/8. The only thing is, make sure your hole is the same. Color in 7 parts. Oh, that's more than 3/4, can't be it. Okay, 8 parts, color in 4. Oh, that's less than 3/4, that could be it. Let's do 5/6. That's going to be more. Can't do it. And 4/4, which we should know that that is equal to 1 whole. It would not fall there, but in case you need to draw it, that is more than 3/4, cannot be it. So our only possible answer is 4/8. We're looking for which ones are less than 6/8. The denominators are the same, so we can compare numerators, and a smaller numerator means there's smaller amount of the whole used. We know that 1/8 would be less than 6/8, 7/8 would be more, 9/8 would be more, and 8/8 would be more. Okay, down here we're comparing 1/2 and these. So let's draw 1/2. Okay, if we're trying to do 1/4, 1/4 is greater than, or I'm sorry, 1/2 is greater than 1/4, so that could be it. Okay, 2/3. Oh, that's more than 1/2, can't be it. Okay, 4/8. Oh, that's the same, but it's not saying 1/2 is equal to, so that can't be it. 2/2 we could compare using the numerators because the denominators are the same. But to finish our models, that's more than 1/2, can't be it. So the only possible answer is 1/4. Next one, we're going to draw out 4/8 and 1/2. Okay, 4/8. All right, oh wait, hold on. They're the same, so that means they're equal. That means they are equal. They cover the same amount of a whole. Which fraction is less, 1/4 or 1/8? You could either draw a model or use what you know about denominators being different while the numerator is the same. If they have the same numerator, the smaller denominator does mean that it is greater. So this one is asking for less, so we would look for the bigger denominator, which would be 1/8. But if your student's not sure, you can draw a model. Okay, 1/4, 1/8. Which one is less? It is 1/8. There you go. Which fraction is less, 4/6 or 1/6? Again, you can draw out a model, or you can use the rule that we know about the same denominator. So the denominators are the same. We look for the larger numerator to get the greater fraction. So this would be the greater fraction because 4 is bigger than 1, but we're asking for less. So we're going to look for the smallest, which means 1/6 is the lesser number. And if it works for your kid to write it like this, sorry, I wrote that backwards. If you want them to write out the comparison sentence before, that too is fine. I apologize, I wrote that backwards. Fix it. And so they will know that this one is lesser. If two fractions have the same denominator, the one with the blank numerator is the greater fraction. So we know that if they have the same denominator, the pieces are the same. So if the pieces are the same size, more pieces means a bigger fraction. Okay, so two fractions have the same denominator. The one with a greater numerator is the greater fraction. Okay. Complete another sentence comparing 4/6 and 5/6. You can draw out a model or you can use that rule. Denominators are the same. We look for the larger numerator, which in this case is 5. They may talk about how Pac-Man wants to eat that, or Steve the pet alligator wants to eat that one. So we would say that 4/6 is less than 5/6. Okay, complete 3/8 and 5/8. Again, the denominators are the same, so we can compare the numerators. This is a smaller numerator than this one. 3 is smaller than 5, so Steve would want to eat 5/8. Again, we have 3/8 is less than 5/8. Okay, so now we have this one. We do not have the same numerator or the same denominator, so I'm going to draw a model. Okay, so we're going to have 2/4 and 1/2. And those are equal, so we would draw equal to. They're equivalent. They are worth the same amount of a whole. Here our numerators are the same, but the denominators are different. So a smaller denominator means that it is a bigger piece of the pie. So we do 1/2 is greater than 1/3. Okay? To compare fractions with the same numerator, you need to look at the not numerators. We need to look at the denominators. And in 3rd grade, we don't talk about factors of the numerator or multiples of the denominator. Okay? Are the following fractions less than 3/4? Yes or no? All right, 1/4. We know that that is a smaller numerator, so it is less than 3/4. 4/4, that would be more than this 3/4, so we know that that is greater, which means no, it is not less. And 2/4 is less than that 3/4, so it is going to be yes. Here we're just comparing. So we have 2/3 is something 1/3. Denominators are the same, so we look for the bigger numerator. Here we have 2 is greater than 1, so 2/3 is greater than 1/3. 4/6, 5/6, denominators are the same, so we look at the numerators. 4 is less than 5. 8/8, which we know because the numerators are this and the denominator are the same, that is equal to 1. And 5/5, we know that that is equal to 1 because the numerator and denominator are the same. So these are actually going to be equal. They're both equal to 1 whole. 3/4 and 1/4. Denominators are the same, so we can compare the numerators. 3 is larger than 1, so this is going to be greater than. Number 18, this is a select all answer, so it could be more than 1. So which ones are greater than 2/5? Well, 1/5, we know that that would be less than 2/5, so not it. 3/5, if we colored in 3 parts, that would be greater than 2/5. 4/5, again, that would be greater than 4/5. And 2/5, well, that would be equivalent. Okay? So you could say, if it works better for your kid, writing the inequality sentences or equality sentences. Writing the symbols and then going from there, that works too. Which of these is greater than 5/7? Select the correct answer. It does not say that there are more than one answer. It does not have that select all, so we're only going to be looking for one answer. Numerators are different, but all of the denominators are 7, so we look for the number in the numerator spot that is larger than 5. 1/7, smaller. 2/7, smaller. 4/7, smaller. But 6 is greater than 5, so 6/7 would be greater. Here, it's asking which of the fractions is the least or is the smallest fraction. our numerators are all the same, so we have to look at the denominators. And we know that smaller denominators mean bigger pieces. So if we're looking for the least, we're going to look for the biggest denominator, because the biggest denominator has the smallest pieces. Okay, so 5 is bigger than 4, 5 is less than 10, and 10 is more than 9. So 6/10, 10 is going to be the highest, the biggest number in the denominator, so it's going to have the smallest pieces. So 6/10 would be the smallest of the whole out of all of those options. All right, if you have any questions, please reach out and I will be more than happy to help you. See you later.